Hey, welcome to today's video. If you hadn't heard, Philly Drone Life, a popular YouTuber who flies his DJI drone around the city of Philadelphia capturing its majesty and beauty, is being charged $180,000 for his flights. He showed me some of the charges and some of them seem kind of fishy. So I was like, you know what, man, I think we should sit down and we should hear your side of the story without some weird, mainstream news agenda. So here it is, uncut, the Philly Drone Life interview. Hey.
Oh, man.
First of all, thank you very much for sitting down and doing this. I really appreciate it. I did a little intro beforehand, but basically I just want you to be able to tell your side of the story. There's some things that don't seem to line up and the rest of the media isn't reporting on them, as well as making things up like you ran into birds and hit buildings and stuff. Like it's getting kind of crazy. So basically I just want to give you a chance to let everybody know what happened, and this was a while ago.
Yeah, and that's just it. So I'm going to do the best I can to answer all your questions. But just go easy on me because it happened in 2019. It's 24 now. It's been a long time ago. So I'll try to remember them to the best of my ability.
So let's just get into it. What happened? You were flying, you found DJI drone, you found drones, you're flying drones around having a good time. You decided to upload some videos on YouTube. When did you get your first notification from the FAA?
So basically, you said I was flying drones. Yes, I was given my first drone in 16. Everybody knows, well, a lot of people know my story, but had weight loss surgery, lost a lot of weight. I needed a hobby. Took up drones. 16, I got my first Mavic Pro and started flying drones. I believe in 18 is when I started posting to YouTube. I saw everybody else ripping, having a great time, amazing videos over all kinds of stuff. I have a city, let's go fly, So I was flying, let me post. So I started posting videos in, I believe it was 18. The first letter came at the end of 18, and basically it said I was being investigated.
So you've been flying for a couple years, no problem at this point.
No problem.
2016, so you got your first letter from the FAA, and what did it say?
That I'm being investigated, to call, and we'll talk about it.
So you called them?
Absolutely called them. And let me just say, but I answered every call, every freaking letter I got, I answered. I would never not answer.
There is some rumors going around that you ignored the letters and that's why it compounded. But to get the truth out there, this is why we're doing this. You answered every single letter and call that you got.
Or in 2020, when the $184,000, 182 came out, every channel on YouTube in the drone community, I don't want to say their names, but they know who they are. Hey, who ignores phone calls? How could you ignore that from the FAA? And they were all, boy, tons of views on every channel. One was just better than the other. And that's pretty much what's going on now in the news radio. It's not true. It's just not true. And I kept calling these stations saying, and these channels, just interview me, have me on your show. But God forbid, nobody wanted to talk to me. I was literally ostracized for nothing.
People got scared. I think part of the FAA's tactic. We'll get into that later. But so you got this letter. You talked to the FAA. What happened with that? Your first charge. What happened with that?
So we talked on the phone. It's supposed to be education. At that time, in 2019, the people at the FAA, they just weren't in touch with drones at all. And he didn't know. Yeah, they didn't know the regulations. I wound up. I hate to say this, but educating him. To the best of my ability. Long story short, the charges were dropped.
Wait, you didn't get charged? You didn't get fined or anything?
Nothing. Hey, we looked over this case, and we're at this point, his last lines were, at this point, I'm considering the case closed. Boom. Okay.
So somebody complained about a flight of yours, and the FAA investigated it, and they decided, hey, this particular case, we weren't in the wrong, case closed. When did you start getting more letters then?
So I've got a total of 5 more letters from the first one. So it's a total.
Each letter consists of a complaint that somebody made against a flight of yours.
Also, in some of the FAA letters, they basically said that I was being on a daily basis. People were calling in on a daily basis.
To report your flight.
To report my flight. So imagine you having a YouTube channel, putting up a video, and every single video is going under a microscope to make sure I was in the right. I didn't even know the freaking regulations. They changed so many times. You could fly, you can't fly. And so imagine that. So that's what happened. Okay,
so you got your first one dismissed. You got 5 more. Were these proposed fines at this point when you got the 5 letters? Were they like, we're going to charge you money? So you got the notifications, you're being investigated or whatever for these flights. When did you get your first notion that, hey, we're going to charge you money now?
So the first 3 were investigations. They were just investigating a flight. I believe they ended in more education, and just talking to a guy on the phone. I continued to do my videos and fly in the best manner I could, and uploading just like everybody else on YouTube. But in 2000, I believe it was the end of 19. It was the end of 19 and 20 that they proposed.
You're being proposed. They proposed underneath the line. And these were for the 5 letters that you got.
Yes.
So all of these fines. So when we talk about in a minute here, all these fines are basically from just these 5 notifications that you got.
Basically, the end of the year in 18, all of 19, and I believe the beginning of 20, or the first couple of 6 months in 20. It is a total of 26 flights, 26 videos that went up.
Videos.
I was also, I'm saying this because I remembered the facts. I believe it was 126 infractions that all got, if you do the math, 126, wow. Yeah, times $1,501 or whatever. You got to do the math, but I think it comes up to that number. I'm not sure.
Why do you think you got so many complaints? I fly in the city. I fly my tiny whoops and stuff. A lot of people fly drones. Like we're saying, people I see on Reddit all the time. I see on Instagram, people have these beautiful shots of the city. And I guarantee you, not every single one of those is the certified 107 call into length flight. People are just flying drones as hobbyists and taking photos and posting them to the internet. Why do you think you got complaints and not these people? Or why do you think the FAA acted on these complaints towards you and not other people?
I think I touched on it a little bit. I think because, number one, I was just such a nuisance to them. If you went to work as an FAA guy, and every single day, every time, and I was posting a lot. I think I got I think it says 500 videos. I got over 1,000 videos. Somebody in the beginning, when this happened, told me to take 700 of them down. I did. I lost 2 million views. So as far as the job on YouTube, whatever, it killed me. But I thought I was doing the right thing, so I did it. So why do I think it's me?
Yeah,
wow.
Why do you think they're coming after you specifically? I've never heard of anybody else being fined this much. There's been a few other fines, still $15,000, maybe a 30.
For nobody getting hurt, no damage, nobody.
But let's keep that in mind real quick. You're being charged you're being proposed a fine of $180,000. Nobody was injured. There was no property damage. You never hit a building, a car. You literally just flew your drone through the air and you talked loud while you did it. That's objectively stepping aside. You flew your drone through the air. You were loud while you did it. Nobody got hurt. You were never close to anybody being hurt.
I'd like to touch on the loud part later, so bring up, because that's one of the reasons. So I think why me? Number one, I'm boisterous. I think on the Honeymooners, he walks around and goes, "My big mouth." That's how I grew up, watching shows like that. So it's part of the schlick. Right. But being part of the schlick, it's fuck the FAA, you screw your mother's ass.
You're not the only one too that says fuck the FAA.
Right. And I don't mean screw them guys. It's
right. We should clarify that. When you say fuck the FAA, you don't mean air traffic control. You don't mean Jason doing paperwork down there in accounting. You mean drone laws that don't make any sense. Fuck the FAA means, why are you making these laws that don't make any sense for us at all?
Thank you, because it is not personal. It's not against any particular person. Maybe now it is, because I'm starting to think maybe somebody just don't.
Maybe they just don't like you.
Maybe it's a person that knows somebody, or I didn't do anybody harm, so I don't know. But who knows? Who knows? I think, getting back to why me. Number one, boisterous. Number two, I had a troll that called in and put on their desk every single flight I did and posted. Yeah. So that's now under microscope. Number two. And there was a third one that I'm forgetting here, but the third one would say, see, I always forget to lift myself up. I'm embarrassed to say I'm good at something, because that's I consider them.
I'm the same way. I understand.
So I believe, and I really hate to say it, but I don't hate to say it. Listen, man, I believe I did it the best. Chasing the trains, chasing the buildings, whatever it was, I did it the best because I put the work in. I had a lot of time.
You're a very competent drone pilot. Yeah, you get great shots. It's crazy, $180,000. Laws are laws for a reason, I guess. Sometimes, you know what I mean. Do you think this extreme fine is justified in any way? I know it's you, so like, hell no, don't charge me this. But do you think if you saw somebody else getting charged the same thing for the flights they did, would you say, yeah, that punishment fits the crime?
Oh my God! Oh my God! No! Oh my God! No!
It does
I
seem
would.
ridiculous.
I would.
I'll say it does.
I would be. Oh my God! What did he do? And go look, because what did the guy do to deserve that? I mean, I think we talked about it earlier. Elon Musk sent a rocket into space. Into space, Bob. If something about a date, they found him 170.
He got charged less
Less than what I'm getting
for not following procedures of launching a rocket into space. You got charged more money for not following procedures of a drone.
Look it up. Look up. It is. Just Google it. In freaking space, he didn't give them the right paperwork, something like that, about a date. 170,000. So to be charged this amount, they're setting a precedence, because I believe the message isn't only for me. I believe the message is for a lot of other people that are posting that maybe they don't want to do the work on. So they throw it all on one guy. A guy,
scare tactic to scare the people
of course,
off, saying if we're going to do this to him, we can do this to you as well.
And also to get us out. Let's face it, they don't want hobbyists or 107s. You 107 guys think you've got it made? No, trust me. In my opinion, I think they don't want none of us in the air. They have plans for that 400-foot airspace, and again, this is just my opinion, and that's what I think, because when they tell you to hook up a remote ID to a Tiny Whoop, they're out of touch. It doesn't fit. So what are they saying? They're saying don't fly to Tiny Whoop.
Yeah, they're saying don't fly at all. Like, too bad.
Or if you fly, you're going to get fined or go to jail. You know, so who wants to do that, right? So nobody wants to take that chance. So what do? You don't fly. Well, if everybody does that, we don't have a hobby anymore. That's another reason why I flew, because I did what I did because somebody had to stand up for outrageous rules, Bob. Outrageous.
I agree.
So I stood up. You know, it was wrong. I thought maybe other people would join in and say, hey, this is, you know, look, guys, I did it too. I'm not hurting anybody, but competent.
It seems everybody else kind of just got scared and ran and ditched you, yeah.
That's basically what happened. Does it set a bad example for the 11-year-old that walks into Kmart and buys a drone? In my opinion, probably yes. Because if he does it, he's going to crash his drone. But you know what? He should be with a parent. He should be with somebody. And if anybody else does it, you know, hey, that's on them. This is me. I did it. I have the experience. That's what I did. I believe I also tell them, please, guys, don't do this. You'll crash your drone. With that being said, I only flew a DJI drone there.
Right.
And the risks are so low. And I know that's not nice to say about myself, but I do believe in rules. I believe in regulations. I believe they have to be there, or else society would just go fucking nuts. But to over-regulate and to make up regulations that just have no sense.
Let's talk about specific real quick. One of the charges that I saw was that you were landing a drone. And what was it? Unsafe landing or unsafe operation of a drone?
So, yeah. So in 2020, there's a video called Giants Amongst Giants with my drone, something like that. And
you showed it to me earlier. You fly up to a building, then you fly back down the building, and you're checking around, making sure you're not too close. You can hear the proximity sensors going.
Total line of sight. You can see it in there. However, it's a live video. I did it live. Standing right in front of the building, I went up, went over to another building, went down, and came down. In that video, they charged me for too close to a building, which at the time, I don't believe there was even a regulation. I don't even know if there's one now that says you have to be so close from a building or it's a fine.
I'm sure we'll be fact checked that in the comments. But yeah.
I'm sure. But it was that, too close to a building. I had total control of it. And secondly, the drone lost control and landed unexpectedly.
DJI drone with the GPS, number one, so it can't really lose control.
Oh, hold on. It can lose GPS. It could get lost.
It'll auto land, right?
But at that
do the propellers just stop and it falls and crashes? No, it lands itself, right?
At that point, if it gets all lost, it'll just land.
It's very slowly. So you may not be physically controlling, but the drone is still in control. It's not out of control drone.
Yeah, you want to say it or you want me to say it?
I love this part. You go.
But you watched it. I had to show it to you because this upsets me. So it was the two fines, too close to a building, and secondly, drone loses control and lands unexpectedly.
But you landed it.
The drone never went out of control. It never lost where it was going crazy.
It
None of
never
that.
even went into auto land. You manually landed the drone.
Manually put the drone right in front of me.
Which FPV pilots do every single day. We manually land our drones because we don't have auto.
And what we're talking about is ADI mode. So the older drones had something called ADI mode, where it was just like you said, there's no longer GPS. Mm-hmm. It just kind of drifts, and then it's up to you.
But you move it, you control it, right?
You control it.
It's like an FPV drone, basically.
Most camera drone pilots at that time were crashing their drones because it went into ADI mode. Because I have FPV in my background, a little bit of it, I was able to land it. You know, there was dude, it doesn't even look like it lost GPS. And it only did it when it was, I would say, maybe 40 feet from the ground. I want people to go watch that video, and you'll see it. It's not out of, so what it did for me is it started, this is what's angering me right now. I'm looking over this video and thinking, oh my God, they flat out lied.
Yeah. So this is a lot of money, and it almost feels, like you're being singled out and the government's coming after you. I have to ask, like, how is your mental health with all of that? Because plenty of people fly drones around cities and don't hear a word from anybody, but you do it and upload some videos, and now you're the target of this. Like, how does it make you feel?
Well, I think, Well, I'll tell you one thing, it doesn't make me feel special, not at all. No. It makes me feel it gets me angry, and because just leave me alone. I'm trying to make a living, bot. I really am. And I don't mean that with money-wise either. I'm just trying to get by.
Yeah, you're trying to live your life.
I'm suffering in a million different ways, and which I don't want to get into here, but that is my medicine. That's what I do for medicine. And it makes me feel good, and knowing I'm making others feel good really makes me feel good. So the mental health at this point is not good. I'm putting people at home through hell. You know what? They're still sticking with me. I think I got all the anger out at this point.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm getting by. I'm still sober, thank God. I haven't picked up any.
22 years?
Yesterday was 24 years. 24 years yesterday.
That's just, I don't know that long, but I know the struggle, so I'm proud of you, man. That's insane. A lot of people don't know how hard that is.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny, stand for something or fall for anything. There were so many sayings that we had in recovery, and they kind of carried over to the drone hobby because I really didn't think I was doing anything wrong. I'm being honest. I didn't.
So be honest about that.
Didn't hurt anybody.
Did you feel like you're doing anything wrong by flying your drones around?
I didn't. Yes, I did some range tests. When I did a range test, this is so funny. First of all, you hear me saying, the firehouse lights on the front, firehouse lights on it. If you're flying at night in the city where I'm at, you see my outside, there's wires everywhere. Mm-hmm. If I don't have lights on my drone, I cannot land it and still walk in the house with it. It's going to be destroyed because it's going to hit a wire or something. So I have to put lights on it. Mm-hmm. So, and by putting lights on it, I'm legal. I'm following regulations, which is great. So at night I did that. And what people don't realize is even during the day, if I do a range test, the way I do a range test, because I'm in an alley. So the only way I can go far is stay perfectly straight.
In a grid city. Our city is a grid, a perfect grid. So yeah.
The only way to get the mileage I get is to stay perfectly straight. And you can only do it with a light. Because you have to, at some point, see and line yourself up. No matter how good you are, you start to drift, whatever. Even though they're GPS, they will move a little bit, or your hand may move on it. So I do use it, and then they're saying it's out of line of sight. I don't know what that means. If I could see that light blinking, that's not out of line of sight. I know where my drone's at.
The line of sight laws are kind of gray. The beyond visual line of sight, the FPV, none of this stuff is super concrete, yet they're trying to charge you with it as if it were concrete,
And that's another thing. Since 19, guys, these rules have changed, what, 3, 4?
A lot. Remote ID itself has been pushed back 3 different times, if not more. 3 that I can recall.
By regulations that keep changing. Which one you want me to abide by?
It's really hard. It is insanely hard. And I think that is unfair because some of the stuff it looks like that you're being charged with from 2019 didn't come into effect until later. So how are you going to be charged? I'm not, don't quote me on that. What it looks like to me is that you're being charged with some stuff such as the night flying or the flying over roads, which it used to be no flying over roads whatsoever. Then it was, okay, you can as long as you're not sustained with traffic, you can fly across it. So how can you get charged with that when it's changed?
Well, I can answer that. I have the best trolls on YouTube.
Oh.
And I have a email. Well, I'll show you. It's actually a text message. One of my trolls is so smart. He sent the message to the wrong person, just some vague guy. That guy was so kind, actually a subscriber of mine, sent me the text message and said, "Hey, Mike, I just want to let you know I got this text message and this doesn't look good. So just wanted you to know." He sent it to me, and I will expose that guy's name on a live stream, just so that you know. I believe he took his channel down because I did it in 19. I believe I did call him out, and I went nuts.
I mean, you shouldn't hide if you're gonna do something like that.
Personal? Why personal? What's the matter with you? Don't change the channel. You don't like it.
Let's talk about if you don't like it. You are Mikey. You're a man that flies drones. On YouTube, you're Philly Drone Life, you're wowzers, you're crazy, you're quote unquote out of control, even though the entire time you know how to operate your drone. You've been flying for years. Do you think that some of this heat and some of this is because of that?
It's such a
Do you think they can't separate the art from the artist, maybe?
Oh my God, such a good point. You know, and I love that you said out of control, because in some of my videos, I actually spin the drone and I'm saying, "Oh shit, we're going down, we're going down." We're not going down. I'm turning the drone sideways and hitting down. We're not going down, because 2 seconds later, I lift it up and we go ripping again.
GPS drones like that don't typically fall out of the sky. They have several safety features. Yeah. Even when those safety features are gone, you can then manually land it. Like when I fly long range, you know, I'll get out 3 kilometers and I'm like, "Oh guys, I don't know if I have enough battery to get back." The same thing that you do. Like, "Oh, you're building," and then I'll put sound effects and tense music in, because you're building a story for people. Yes. In my mind, I know I have plenty of battery to go out and come back and land, but I want the people to know that. Don't tell anybody I do this.
Right.
But I want the audience to know. I want them to be like, "Oh crap!" I want them to stay engaged and keep watching. Is he going to make it back? What's going to happen? That's how you make entertainment, you know.
And that's what it is. See, maybe I should have put all my videos under the entertainment instead of that film and animation thing. When you upload to YouTube,
should you have to put a disclaimer? Hey, everything you see on TV might not be real, you know.
No, guess what? If you look in all my videos now, and that's the other thing, Bob, when this started, when I got the proposed fine, I stopped. I stopped every live stream. That was enough. No more of that. I ain't doing the live streams on the street. It just didn't pay off. At this point, you're fining me for it. Let me try to do things properly. So I started editing and making videos, which are so much harder, but I did it. And at that
work, right?
Yeah, oh my God. But guess what? Trolls, every single video I edited and put up was sent to them. Thank God, none of the videos were fined. I don't even know if they can find an edited.
So it's only your live flying videos that it's not your edited videos. Are any of your edited videos?
Not one.
Only your live flying.
Only the live flying. Now, they do talk about, "Oh look, he's doing the same thing."
But you're not being charged for that.
He can. I believe. See, now here we go. Are they going to add another 108? I just said, "Oh, they can't." I don't know if they could or not, but I didn't do it. Half of the videos, let me say this, half of them edited videos wasn't even me flying. Right. Some of it ain't my footage. What are you going to go through every one of them? Well, I'm sure the troll, "Hey, troll, I guess you have to go do that now." When's it stop, bro? When does it stop? You just want me to stop. So I think what they want me to do is be done, give up everything. And I can't do it. I can't do it, bro, because it's my living. That $200 I need.
Number one, it's your living. Number one, this is how you make your money. You didn't choose to do this. This is the way that you make your money.
I make a living. I'm crippled. I make a living doing that because I can still talk.
Would you be able to stand up for 9 hours a day in the back of a restaurant working on a line? You know what I mean? But you can fly drones and make videos and earn a living doing this. And it seems they're trying to take that away. And that's just, from everything that I've seen, man, and I don't want, I'm not trying to put myself out there as a target, but the FAA is fucking with you. They are 100% fucking with you. From what I've seen, it's nuts. They need somebody with common sense to get in there. I can tell you what you need all day long. I would love to be able to get a lawyer to make sense of some of this, because say you go into court yourself and you're like, "Hey judge, look, some of these papers, this isn't correct. I didn't land unsafely." They're going to say you didn't submit that, pre-trial or whatever. You need a lawyer to help you with this. So my question is, are you trying to get a lawyer? Has anybody reached out? If somebody knows anything, should they reach out to you?
Oh my God, yes. So first of all, we called a civil attorney, and it's but they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're in personal injury. They're in This
is an aviation case. You can't ask the guy in the billboard.
It would cost me $100,000 for him to just learn the thing first and then charge me.
Yeah, you have to know. Yeah.
He didn't know what to do. And that even cost me a couple $100 just to talk to him. So to get an aviation lawyer, what is it, $10,000? The retainer,
assume, yeah.
over $100,000 for the case. How am I going to afford that? Come on, dude.
Seems to me like if you had a competent lawyer, you could at least get some of these BS charges thrown out, like the unsafe operation for landing your drone manually, which only proves that you're a competent pilot if you can land a GPS drone manually. You know what I mean? It just
Well, not even. It's in ADI mode. I don't even know if it's manual. I think that your FPV drone is more manual than even ADI.
we don't really land.
Right.
We control crash when we're done flying. And you know, it's definitely in control, but it's insane to see this happening. This is just all sort of insane to me is what I'll say. Like, I understand there's laws, there's regulations. When you break them, we live in a society, you're penalized, okay? You should maybe $180,000 is cruel and unusual punishment is what I think. My opinion is it's way overboard, and they're trying to send a message to everybody else. Hey, look what we can do to you.
You know what bothers me though? I mean, not only that, but they're destroying my friends, anybody that talks to me.
You said you've lost friendships over this.
All of them. All of them, not some, all of them. You are the only guy that will talk to me. And there might be one or two others, but I don't want to mention their name either. But you're the only guy willing to do anything like this. So what they've done is they've targeted anybody that I'm close with too by a phone call and scared them off. Well, they may own a house or a car. So, stay away from Michael. They're going to take that. And they probably threatened him with it. Imagine doing that to a person. Isn't that personal? I don't even know if it's legal.
This sounds personal.
I don't even know if it's legal, but and that's the problem. They know I don't have a lawyer. They know I have money. They know I'm a big loudmouth that gets crazy on my shows.
You're just a target for them in this new world where we do have drones and they're trying to regulate them, but they have gray areas about the law.
I want to add this because there's one other thing that bothers me so much. Some of these big channels on YouTube, Bardwell, and I say him because he's big. Yeah, he's big with that. Yeah. So I say him. But
I love Bardwell.
And there's a Ken Herron too on the camera side. I don't know if he's the biggest, but let's just mention him too because he's an idiot like myself. But it bothers me that they put out videos and they just didn't have the right information. Why didn't they just call me?
Videos about you.
Just right. Guys, listen, you can't ignore them papers. You just can't. You got to answer I've showed you. I answered every call, every paper. I have proof to back it up.
I saw that you received letters saying thank you for sending in the information and thank you for all stuff. Yeah, I saw that.
And I have the letters on emails.
You do have the paper trail. I saw.
So it bothers me when the channels in the hobby that I'm in the space that I am, that I'm trying to get bigger, destroy me as well. And that's a problem. It pisses me off. And a lot of my anger, it come from that too, because I need this space to like me or to just change a channel, not to put me down.
Right. I mean, look what happened with my recent thing last week. Another channel got the entire FPV community on their ass, and that cannot be a good feeling, man.
It's not, and you just feel like a piece of shit. You feel like a disease, and nobody wants nothing to do with you. It brings back all my earlier shit that I went through that put me on fucking heroin. Excuse my language, but it brings up all that stuff, and it reminds me of sitting in this room alone shooting dope. That's what it reminds me of. Because nobody wants to be around a junkie.
Yeah, that's not.
And it's for something I enjoy doing. It's a fucking hobby I love. And I'm putting up good content. I thought people are laughing, people are enjoying it. And then they accuse me of staring other people to do it too. One of my trolls said, oh, well, from his flying, there could be hundreds, thousands more trying to imitate him. Really? I mean, come on. Because of me? I'm not that important.
Me personally, let me think. I think I want to say this. Me personally, I don't think the punishment fits the crime at all. You know what I mean? You flew a drone around a city, and yes, you had the potential to hit somebody, you had the potential to hit a building, you had the potential for your drone to grow wings and fly to the moon. You know what I mean? If you want to talk about potential to do things, like it's just not based in reality. I think even if we weren't friends, if I just heard about this case and I didn't care about drones, I'd be, that sounds like a lot of money for flying a drone. Like, who do they hurt? What do they do? They just flew it? Like, that is nuts. And there are, again, like I said, there are regulations. We have rules for society to function.
I believe
but we should have common sense. Of course, yeah, we all do. I'm an anarchist punk rocker, you know what I mean? But I was the first one telling you, hey, you should listen to the law here. This is actually, you know, it's for the good of our society and stuff. Certain things are. Finding you $180,000 for flying a drone and enjoying that when nothing was in danger, I think is a complete misuse of justice. It's completely overboard. I think a lot of people feel the same way, no matter if they like DJI drones or even if they don't care about camera drones. Right. This is going to affect us. I want to say that this case, no matter what happens, will set up precedents in future cases. If you get hit with the full extent of the law, somebody flying in a park can also get, maybe not 180,000, but they can use this. Hey, look, this guy, the judge said, yeah, this was wrong. You were flying your drone too close to this monument in a park, boom, $50,000 or something. Like, this is an important case for all drone pilots, no matter what they think of your flying, I think.
You know, let me end with, at this point, my mental health. I don't know if we talk, I'm lost, but the mental health, I think they did such a nice job at destroying this all back up again, making me scrambled eggs all over again. I don't care what they do at this point. I'm being honest with you. I don't care. 180, they want to add interest. They also want me to pay for their lawyers.
That's in the paper. They want you to pay for the case afterwards?
Oh yeah, I'm paying for theyre to sue me for fake things made up.
You just
but
don't
it's
want
okay.
to be in limbo anymore. You just
I don't care. I don't care what they do. And I mean,
they can drag this on for years and years and years, and you would have years of stressing over it. That sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you know, hey. Anybody know a good lawyer? You know.
Well, I think we're wrapping this up here. I do want to say I really appreciate you sitting down to do this with me and being honest about everything and so open and vulnerable with everybody. That takes a lot of courage to do that. A lot of people just say, fuck off, you know, and go hide or something. But you're out here in your videos, in the media, doing interviews, letting people know, hey, some injustices going on. Like, yes, I flew my drone over the city, but I'm being charged an insane amount of money for it, and they're making things up. They're basically from what I saw with the whole dangerous landing thing, that is made up. I don't think any jury or any sane jury or judge would think that was an unsafe landing from what I saw. You know what I mean? I kind of want to just close with, you know, like I've been reiterating, this is a ton of money. The punishment does not fit the crime. I want to see some resolution.
Crime? What crime? I didn't commit a crime, bud.
The punishment doesn't fit the enjoyment of the hobby. You know what I mean? It's insane to me. I do appreciate you sitting down with me. What would you like to say before we go? Anything else?
I got a ton to say, but you got places to go, and I just want to go to sleep. But what I want to say is, all my thanks goes to you, bro. Because nobody will talk to me. When you knocked at my door, what did I do, man? It was so overwhelming that somebody from the community that actually has a name gives a fuck enough to say I'm still gonna talk to him. Fuck that shit. I don't care what you want to fuck you too. And I mean that nicely. I'm from South Philly. When I say fuck, I don't mean screw you. But you have the guts, the integrity, to give me the same time of day you gave me before this. That's all I want. Just treat me like a human. Treat me as the same person I was before this. That's it. I didn't do nothing to you.
Well said. Well said.
And if somebody comes after you for talking to me, what's that about? Somebody should say something about that. Somebody calls you because you know Mikey or you're talking to me. Why don't you stand for something? Because you're going to fall for anything. Don't hit me with, well, I got kids and I got money. Say something. That's bullshit. It's wrong. And if you keep doing the wrong thing, it just keeps getting worse. Just keeps traveling. So that's all
I'd say living in fear is no way to live.
And that's, you know, you asked me earlier, I know it's going over, but that's the way I feel with every drone flight at this point. Every single flight. When I leave my house, I look like somebody's watching me. When I sit in front of my TV, I feel like the camera's looking at me. My phones are being tapped. My computer right now is looking at me from them. I mean, this is the United States of America versus Philly drone life. That's pretty big.
That's huge. That is insane,
man.
They
can do anything. I'm a bad actor with a drone. And since 9/11, they can do anything they want. Are they doing it to me? I don't know. I don't have a lawyer. Go look. Yeah. You know, if you want to jump and think about things, think about that too. Think about it all, you know. But I just want to say, didn't hurt anybody. I never meant harm. I never meant to destroy the hobby. That's not. I'm not
the hobby.
Accuse me now. I'm trying to destroy the hobby.
I've destroyed the hobby for the past 8 years. I've been running it for 8 years. People are going to find something to cry about.
It hurts me, man. I don't know why that stuff bothers me, but it bothers me.
Have fun. You have your supporters. You know the people that really support you. You know what I mean? You can't let. I'll let one negative comment destroy 30 positive comments in a video. I've talked to people that say the same thing. So you really just got to, like.
And there is some amazing people. There is some amazing people out there, and they're saving me.
It's an amazing community, camera, drone, and FPV. The whole thing is an amazing community. A lot of it bleeds over together, you know what I mean?
I want to keep it. I want to keep it. I don't want to lose that. Maybe this is a good thing.
This, play some video games, I'd be bored.
But it's posting it is part of it. You want people to see it.
Art, that's your art.
Yeah.
What are you going to paint a painting and just leave it in your closet and never show anybody? You want people to see what you've done, yeah.
Exactly. So just give me a fair shot. That's all I'm saying. Don't be afraid to talk to me. Bardwell, I'm a human being. I'm not a bad guy. And I'm just picking your name out. You're nice. I know you could be nice. I want to learn something. That was Philly Drone Life. You see what I mean? But I'm a joker. It's just who I am. It's who I am as a human being. And it comes out a lot more on camera. So
say in closing, I think right now the FAA is, with these charges, they're having problems separate Mikey from Philly Drone Life.
Good. Perfect.
Would you agree with that?
I would absolutely agree with that.
They're charging the artist as if he were the man, and that's not the
case. Maybe I'm not allowed to do that. If I'm not allowed to do that, I wish they would say it, that I'm scaring people with my voice, I'm creating chaos, and it's not good. If you send a letter like that, absolutely understand. I don't agree with it. Right, I absolutely don't agree with it.
More sense than what's happening,
but at least it would make sense. Yeah, and you can't even. I think they can't do that because you can't find that.
I would have to agree.
But thank you, Brian. Thank you for everything.
Hey, thank you for doing this, man.
Yes, sir. Anytime. Thanks. See you guys.
A few moments later, fuck yous. Hey, go fuck yourself.
You're obviously going to have to cut that out. Okay.